Hi, how's it going? How are you doing, my lovely Scorpio? And anyone else who felt called to this reading. So, this is a bonus reading for my Scorpios. Because my channel, my brand new itty bitty channel, got over 100 views for my Scorpio love and spirituality reading in December. And I'm just so grateful to you guys for helping me hit that my first benchmark and getting my brand new channel out there to the world. I just want to be a part of the world more with my readings and to help and guide as many people as I can. And I just love getting your viewership, and I appreciate it so much that I'm going to do this bonus reading. And so this is going to be this reading is going to be a little different than the love and spirituality readings I do. So this is all about, someone in your life who's very important to you. You can call them a twin flame or a soulmate if you want. You don't have to put any label on it. It is just someone who you are in a love connection with, a very strong one, and you have questions about it. And so we're going to take, on the left side, we're going to have, it's usually going to be your energy, my dear Scorpio, on the left. And then on the right, the energy is going to be the person you're dealing with. Sometimes it can be switched, so just keep that in mind. However, those energies play out in your own life and story. Okay, so I'm going to light your candle for you. And this is for December, so I'm going to be getting into their thoughts, their perception of you, their feelings for you, and then also what you can expect from them and an outcome that you can expect in regards to this connection for the month of December. So you're just getting a little bonus December reading in a way. So yeah, I can't wait to get into this. I'm going to start. I'm using my newest decks. I'm going to put their information in the description box if you're interested. But I'm going to start with the Elemental Oracle and pull a card. This is what it looks like. It's kind of shimmery, sheamy. Okay. Sheamy is not a word, I know. All right, my dear Scorpio. So I want to get a card to represent the love connection, the energy of the connection for my Scorpios in the month of December, or even now leading into December. What's the overall energies of this connection, please? Okay. Oh, wow, interesting. We have music. Okay. Is this person a musician for some of you? One of you, maybe? I will read to you the meaning of that card at the end. It's very interesting. And it says music, and then it also says, if you look closely, it says joy. And the number it's associated with is 28, meaning 10, meaning 1. So it's associated with the magician. Okay. So let's get into your reading. Okay. So this here is your thoughts and perspective of your person, the person most on your mind. This is their thoughts and perception of you. Make this even for you. I think things being symmetrical and even is important. Okay. And then this here is more on the energy of your connection. So it is connected to this music and this joy card. Definitely the magician energy there, which is all about empowerment, self-empowerment, feeling powerful in your life without the help or assistance from other people. You just feel like you have it all on your own. And then we have here your feelings for your person. This is their feelings for you. And then here we have what is blocking or challenging your connection. So if you're feeling challenged in your connection, what's that all about? What's going on there? So we'll get a little bit into that. And then down here we have what your actions are going to be towards your person in December. And then we have their actions towards you in December. And then we have outcome. The outcome for, well, how is it all going to accumulate and come together in the month of December? I just want to articulate it as the outcome for December and not the outcome for the entirety of your connection, usually. I see now that I haven't done this spread with my current setup yet, so I see that you need some more room so you can see these cards. Just give me 1 second to do that for you. Hope that helps a little bit so you can see all the cards. Okay. All right, that will have to do. I didn't think that it would take up that much space. I can maybe do this as well. There we go. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right. So I am feeling called to pull this card here. And this is so more on the nature of your connection, the general energy of your connection in December. And we have, that is the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, this is so exciting. This is the first time I've used this deck for a reading. Okay, the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so I'm getting a sense that, I'll keep holding this, that we have a lot of things to do in our lives right now. And so you and or your person is very, very busy with their daily life. And it can be both of you who are just very busy, and it's affecting the relationship and it's affecting the connection because there is not enough time and energy for each other. So it's kind of a juxtaposition between this energy and the joy and music card here. So I'm getting a sense that this has come out as advice for what it would be important to cultivate for December for your connection. And then this is kind of how things are going into December. And there's just very much a sense that, and it's also, I'm getting a sense that the connection itself is taking a lot of work and effort. And you or your person, and I'll get more into it in a second, or both of you are feeling like you can't do it anymore. It's becoming a burden. The amount of like the daily aspects of your connection together. I'm getting a sense of maybe bickering, things just being kind of complicated and not going together very easily. And so it's just this sense of a lot of work having to be put into this connection and maybe not getting a lot out of it. And so there's both of those energies going on. I think it's two busy people. For a lot of you are busy. And this connection is taking more work than what you have the energy for. But it can also be for some of you that it's just the second part, or just the first part. I'm getting both storylines of the sense of the connection taking a lot of effort and in work and not getting a lot out of it. And also that kind of just the daily life struggle of just having a lot to do. Feeling overburdened in that sense. Overproductive. So let's see what your perception of your person is. Okay, so the 4 of Pentacles. So more earth energy. So you're feeling like this person is very withholding and guarded. You can see how the pentacles here are being used as a shield in a way, and that is the energy of the card overall. It is someone who is being withholding, not giving a lot away, not being forthright or giving with their time, energy, attention, or even their material possessions if that's something on the table. I mean, it's not on the table anymore. So you're noticing this withholding nature from your person. And I'm getting a sense that that's why you might be called to a reading like this, because they're not giving much away, are they? And that's how you're perceiving them. And you might also perceive this person in alignment as these cards go together, I'm getting this overall sense of maybe for one or two of you, someone who is withholding specifically of their financial situation, and also very hoarding when it comes to money. And in that sense, they're working very hard for their money, and maybe they're accumulating however much, a decent amount. But they still feel in the sense of lack when it comes to money. I'm getting that for some of you. This person has a sense of lack when it comes to money. And so that's their focus right now, is they want to feel secure. But it takes so much for them to feel secure. And so their efforts are going into accumulation. So their mind is set on accumulating, as opposed to, being giving with their time and energy, attention, money. No, it's more I think that's their overall energy, is just they're trying to accumulate what they can, store what they can. And that can also be energy levels as well. Like they're trying to bankroll, like they know that they're super busy, they have to get up early, so they'll end up going to sleep really early to compensate for that. And then that's time away from you, time away from effort on your relationship. So it's almost like their mindset is on accumulation right now and not so much on you. And that's for some of you, okay? But overall, this is an energy of someone who's withholding and guarded. Okay, so this is how they see and view you. Knight of Coins. Wow, more earth energy. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so they view you as the Knight of Coins. So, my dear Scorpio, or anybody who is any viewer, so you are, in their eyes, someone who's very reliable. And they know you're going to be there for them. They just know it. Even if there's moments when you haven't been, or that you've maybe withdrawn at times, maybe some of you have withdrawn at times, it's almost like they always know that deep down you're still there for them, or that you're going to come back, because they just get this sense that you are not just going to leave them or leave the connection. They think that you're very secure in your own life, that you have your shit together, and they admire that about you. Okay, so they might admire that a lot, and you might inspire, some of you are inspiring your person to be more like that. That's very good for how they view you. So I wonder why they're withholding so much. If they view you in such a positive light, I mean, they just think that you're reliable, practical. It looks like a lot of you guys are prepared for the long term, and in a sense, or at least that you feel like you're in a secure place, and that you know what you're doing. And they definitely see that in you. Very interesting. Okay, let's get more into this. So I'm going to go with your feelings for them, how you're feeling about them, Scorpio. And once again, this is for the month of December. So these energies can definitely resonate now. We're almost in December, but if not, then hold off a little bit and see if this starts making sense for you. Okay, so your feelings. Knight of Swords in the reverse. So this is how you feel about them. Your feelings for them. I'll show you this card upright. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Okay. So you are kind of angry. You're angry, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse is someone who's not going to take any shit from anyone. And so I'm guessing that you feel like this person has been not super direct with you and not forthright. I've said that word before, not forthright. And I don't want to say the word bullshit, but that's honestly the word that's coming to mind, is that you're not going to take any bullshit from this person. So that indicates to me that you feel like you've been getting that from them. Like you're not getting clear answers from them. And it's really, really bothering you. And you're just going to be at this point where your defenses are up. So now your defenses are up. It looks like theirs are up too, but yours are up. And it's in a different way. It's in more of a cutting way. Like it's almost like you're ready to just cut them down, or even cut them out of your life at any moment. because of where you're at with them. So there's not a lot of, I'm not saying there even should be compassion. I'm just noting that you don't have a lot of compassion for this person at this time. You're really not feeling in that lovey-dovey light with them. But there is still a connection there, obviously. There's still a tie between you two that exists, and maybe it's only energetic for some of you right now and not manifesting physically, but there is still that tie because you have such a willingness to cut the tie down. But I don't think you have yet. I mean, because I don't believe, my personal experience and belief is that a person cannot willingly cut a tie. I think that happens, that it kind of just lets go of itself organically as you move on from them. And it's not something that is controllable, really. But with this energy, this is the energy of someone who does want it to be controllable and who very much can do all the type of mental gymnastics, emotional gymnastics to remove them mentally from their mind. But still, that there probably is, I'm getting that a little bit of sense of longing if you have tried that in the past, you still have this sort of sense of longing for them. And it's because they're so, I mean, when someone's so withholding, it can be very attractive. I'm not saying that's the only reason that you are attracted to this person, but there's definitely an element of that I'm seeing with the energy here as I mean, at least I'm seeing this dynamic of have their shield up and you're ready to cut them out, or cut them down, come at them because you just don't believe what they're saying, or you don't believe that they're willing to be open with you, and that's very frustrating. That's very frustrating. I mean, especially with Scorpio energy, and this is in the broad sense of Scorpionic energy, is that generally speaking, the Scorpio energy wants to go deep. You want to get into the depths of someone, especially someone you really care about. You want to know more about them, and you want complete openness, honesty, and you want to share those things, those intimate, emotive parts of a person. It's very important for you to have that type of connection with someone who you're into. And if they're blocking you from that, it's, I think, gonna be very painful. And that's what I'm feeling from that. So their feelings for you. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So now we have very interesting how you guys are mirroring each other energetically so much, because we have all the coins up here. And then now we're starting to have both the swords here. So we have earth and then air. And so you guys are mirroring each other on both a thought level, perception level, and a feelings level. So the Queen of Swords. I love that card. So they're kind of feeling the same way. You guys are really mirroring each other. They're feeling the same way. But they're feeling like the difference. Okay, let me key into this for a minute, because there is a difference. Though these energies are very similar, there's two people ready to cut the person out. Okay. Okay, so I think this person's perception is that you're not interested, and so they're trying to move away from the connection, because this queen, her face is pointing outwards away while yours is pointed towards them. So I'm thinking that they don't think they see, I think that they see this in you, that you are tired of dealing with them, and things aren't working, communication isn't working. There's so much of that cutting energy and anger and kind of this frustration with each other. And so they just sense that if they were to come towards you, you would do this slicing thing. You would just be like very cutting. I can't even think of another word other than cutting towards them. It's just this, it's almost like this instinctual thing with you is that you're really ready to just tear them down if they even come towards you, because they've brought out a lot of insecurities. Their actions of being this guarded person, this withdrawn person, not focused on you enough, has really brought out some vulnerabilities within you. And when that happens, it's very easy to put on up the defenses and just be ready to snap on someone. And I think that they sense this. And so they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to kind of go towards Scorpio right now because I feel like I'm going to get kind of cut down. And I think then I will do the same to them and it won't go positively. So they're trying to they're trying to distract themselves and do other things and maybe even move away. I don't know yet. I'll have to see what's going on down here. But it's very possible that there is this like moving away type of at least desire to, because they don't think in their mind, this is their perception. I'm not saying this is the truth. I'm just saying this is their belief and their feeling is that it's not going to go well if they try to reach out. So what's blocking the connection? Or what's challenging? Okay. 2 of Cups in the reverse. Oh, wow. That's very powerful. This is a very significant card for lovers and for anybody who is trying to figure out, a love connection. 2 of Cups is all about that energy. You can see it here. It is about love, connection. Communication is key with this card. Sharing, and in this, specifically this picture, you see they're sharing each other's cups. And that represents sharing each other's emotions. So it's in the reverse here. So that is the blockage, and I'm definitely not surprised by it, that energy is there. So we see this 2 of Cups. This is a powerful connection you're in. It really is. If you're at the level of getting the 2 Cups right here in the center of your reading, then this is someone who's very important in your life. If nothing else on an energetic level, but it's definitely more than that. I think you guys have been through a lot together from what I'm seeing here. And there's a lot of history and there's definitely some arguments that have gone down. There is withholding. There's bringing out each other's insecurities on both sides. And so what's missing and what's challenging you guys now is being able to come together and share your feelings with each other. And there is definitely, with this energy, with the Queen, Knight of Swords, both in the reverse, that is not an environment conducive to sharing feelings on an equal playing field and sharing vulnerabilities. No way. These 2 people are armed and they've got their guards up and they do not feel safe sharing the feelings. I'm guessing there's been a past of that not working out and of people getting defensive, probably on both sides. There's so much mirroring energy here. Probably people getting defensive because feelings don't get shared. It's more like accusations get shared. So instead of, it goes back to, like elementary school, like the I message, instead of being like, when you said this, I really felt like this. Or maybe you have done that or they've done that and it gets met with defense as opposed to hearing you out. And that can be very upsetting, or vice versa. Or that's how you both, there's so much mirroring. It can be how you both handle things, as you get triggered very quickly when feelings are discussed in the past. It goes to, well, this is how you made me feel, or this is how, when you did this is how it affected me. And it just becomes more of a battle as opposed to just 2 people hearing each other out and kind of, I don't know, getting those apologies in when they're needed, or just being present for each other's feelings and accepting of them. So that's kind of what's blocking this connection. And I don't see an environment that's going to be conducive to this type of feeling-based communication. So let's see how your actions are towards your person in December. Okay, we have Justice. Wow. So that's Major Arcana. So it's definitely a significant energy. It's also a 2. It's 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's connected to the 2 of Cups here. And it seems to be about bringing about balance. Because, you know, Justice has the scales. The card of Libra. Libras want balance and equilibrium in their life. So I'm thinking that if I haven't gotten huge indications of a power dynamic happening so much, but I'm guessing that there kind of is one with the Queen. I'm guessing your person is the person who tries to be more in power than you are. I'm guessing that is more of their alignment, is to try to be the person who plays those games that can give them a little bit more power, or a sense of power in the connection. Yeah, with the Queen dynamic, that's probably is going on there. And that can be very frustrating, of course, and it's no way to build a proper connection. It's definitely not going to create that environment. So I think your approach is to be very diplomatic. So you're going to be someone who wants to create an equilibrium within the connections, that you both are on an equal playing field. I think you want to be fair and balanced, and that is the energy that you're going to decide to have towards them. I'm getting being drawn to the blindfold that she's wearing, and I'm hearing like this phrase, see no evil, believe no evil. I know that's not the actual phrase, but that's what I'm hearing. So I guess that might be a bit of just a message to remember to take your blinders off and make sure that you're seeing everything for what it is, and that your desire for equality, for balance, for fairness doesn't, you know, sometimes a person can be so diplomatic that they actually allow trespasses against them in a way, because they just want to make things work so much. I think it's a possibility, but I'm really getting a sense of empowerment from this card and the energy from it. So I'm thinking that it's going to be okay, and that for most of you that's not going to be a problem, but maybe it has been in the past. Okay. This is going to be their actions towards you in December. Okay, now we have the Page of Swords. Okay, so this person's willing to parlay a little bit. They're willing to hear you out a little bit. I'm getting that you guys are going to be acting a little bit more on your best behavior, and I will say that your guys' best behavior is not the best behavior in the world, but it is better than how you're feeling. So you're both going to be acting in a way that is more conducive to trying to make things work than how you're actually feeling about the other person, which is kind of interesting. That so there's still an element of holding back here, because the feelings are so strong, and it's just so you can see visually with all these swords. I mean, so we have swords, we have the Page, Knight, Queen, and then Justice holds a sword as well. So both of you still have your swords out. You're ready to draw. You're ready to get into it if you need to. And I'm getting this just energy that you're both almost like one foot out the door in a way, but there still seems to be something holding things together. Now I'm being drawn to kind of this right here in the background. We see, you can see these two ties and how they come together. And then we have the sun there, and that's all about clarity, joy, happiness. The sun also represents great soulmate connections, and I think that that's what you want. And you want to tie your two, what are those, like, what are those called? Like, you're creating like an archway, and you're creating a bridge between the two. And that's really your goal. Your goal is to make a bridge and try to reconnect with this person. And they're open to it for sure. They might even be the one that sends you a little message first with the page here. The page can send little messages. It's nothing intense. It might just be like a hey, and kind of things go from there. So it's kind of more like a little bit of energy. And I'm also seeing now that her hand is bound here. So you're feeling tied to this person, and she's tied to the post that's closest to, that's on the right side, which is your person's energy for most of you. So there's a sense of still feeling very bound to this person and not really ready to let go. So that's where, and they're feeling this, they're very open to having a conversation. The energy is not, from either of you, is not loving or compassionate, emotional. It's very diplomatic and direct, clear. And it might be not a lot, too, with this being a page. But it's it's better than how you both are actually feeling about each other. It's more positive. But we don't really, it's not always a great thing if our feelings are not, and our actions are out of alignment. So it'll be at some point important to get into kind of this energy here, this way more intense, a lot of anger and frustration between the two of you. And this looks like a past of really kind of tearing each other down a little bit. Or at least it might not feel that way. It's just how a twin flame type of thing can go, where you just bring out each other's insecurities and vulnerabilities, and everything just feels like an attack, and then you build, and then trust can't be built, and you don't feel comfortable communicating your feelings, especially with, like I said, there is an element of power, trying to achieve power through maybe ignoring you or through acting distant. They're definitely acting distant. And that can be a power dynamic. But it can also feel, in their mind, they're probably feeling very dignified by that, and they feel like that is in their dignity to behave that way. And they might not realize that it is also a bit of a control mechanism, but it can go either way with this person. I think there's an element of both, but I think that they do feel like they're acting in their dignity, and they might not realize sort of how they're acting in a way that makes them feel more empowered, or in a higher power position than you. So there's a bit of that, but it's not really coming through, because they're coming through as this more soft yet ready to cut type of energy. And I do think that the Justice here is represented as female, the Divine Feminine is receptive, and here we have the Knave represented as male, and that is the energy of the Arrow. So it would seem that they're more likely to connect with you in December, if you were wondering about that. Yeah, I think that they probably is more likely that they will message you, and you're just prepared for how to handle that, I'm thinking, for most of you. And then this is going to be the outcome for December. Okay, well, that's very strong energy. That is the Ten of Swords. So I'm not surprised to see more swords on the board here. And this does represent an ending. So, yeah, I that's a very strong indication of an actual ending happening. I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear and that you were hoping for something else. This indicates it's in the upright position. There's no murky waters here. That's definitely an ending. So it would look like these two diplomatic people, especially you being very diplomatic, it looks like you might end up cutting them out of your life, as this energy kind of indicated that you want to, in a sense, or you are ready to. And it goes back to here with joy, music. There's not a lot of joy happening in your life in terms of with this connection. There's not a lot of joy happening, and there's not a lot of empowerment. This person doesn't empower you. And they might even feel the same way about you because there's so much mirroring happening. And then we just have like the solid in the center. Very centered energy of just ending it. So, oh my, you know what? I just parted this deck I have here. Sometimes I'll do that just to get a little extra, and then I parted it to the Ten of Swords again. So I think that that's a pretty solid indication. So things can, of course, end and then resurrect themselves at a later time. And this is for December. So whatever ending may occur between you and December, it does not, if that's really not what you really want, it does not mean that things cannot resurrect at a later time. We'll have to see about that. It just seems like for December, there is a kind of a definitive ending of some sort between you two. We can hope that it is an ending of all of this toxic energy that we see and a move in a positive direction. But that just doesn't, I don't think that that's it. That's not what I feel. So that's not what I feel here with all these swords. It just seems so ready for an ending. And I don't think you want to be tied to something that isn't fulfilling you. So I think that in the end, there's probably that part of you that does want that, and the part of you that kind of wants to try again. But I'm thinking that you are becoming more empowered with the Justice card, and you are kind of seeing things a little bit more. Those blindfolds are going to be important to take off so we can see if there's what are all these chains? There's kind of chains down through here as well. What are these chains that you're experiencing to this person? Why are they there? And how can we integrate these feelings of powerlessness and insecurity that they brought out in you? How can we integrate that, create a more integrated self and a more self-loving self, and kind of move on in a new direction, maybe? So that looks like the December forecast for you. I'm going to close the reading by reading to you this beautiful music oracle card we got. Okay, so joy. Use music to change your mood. Music raises your vibration. Create ways you can express yourself more fully. Move your body through dance. Allow your body to heal through movement. Surround yourself with music to heal. It can be the music of nature, natural soundscapes, or human-generated music. Music is an air element activity. And it's funny it says that because there's so much air here with these swords. Okay. Not only are voices powered by air and many instruments powered by breath, but music is carried by the air element to the ear. Cultural expression is often through music and not just language. And we are able to recognize different cultures through their music. We know flamenco guitar is Spanish, and that certain drum rhythms are African or Japanese, and we know what jazz, pop, or opera sound like. Elements within music, such as texture, dynamics, and expression, form, structure, rhythm, and pitch make it complex and unique. Music is either notated or written down in a musical language or learned by ear. Music has the ability to change mood and state. So spiritual, ritualized, and religious music are of huge cultural importance. Music was an integral part of the ancient religions of India, Egypt, Cambodia, Greece, and Rome. Achieving trance or euphoric states can be assisted by certain kinds of music, and this is part of the study of the cognitive neuroscience of music. The development of music therapy has advanced quickly as a mode of healing. Although we know that ancient Greek centers of healing almost always had a theater and music section, it can be used to help people of all ages with conditions such as depression, sensory impairments, Alzheimer's, developmental disabilities, and substance abuse issues. Okay, so that was just all about how important music is in healing. And so I don't know if some of you guys are musicians and music is already a very significant part of your life, or if you've been neglecting that element that's available to us as humans is to listen and admire music. And I know that I have spent some time neglecting music because it makes me very emotional, and I don't want to be controlled. I guess I feel like I'm being controlled by it because it brings up these emotions. But I've been recently getting more into listening to music again and just allowing that experience of all those emotions that come up from it just come up. So it's kind of for me a process of allowing. And so I've have my own things with music. So I wonder if that's also something that some of you have experienced, like music bringing certain emotions that you don't really want to experience, something like that, some sort of resistance to listening. And so this is just a reminder that that allowing and just listening to music can be so helpful with healing for you right now. So I guess that is going to be significant for some of you while going through this process with this person. Okay, so that's what I have for you today, my lovely Scorpio. I hope this helped. I hope that you enjoyed this little bonus reading, and I truly wish the best for you guys. Thank you once again so much for being so supportive of my brand new little channel. I hope to make more and more benchmarks as I go along, and I just really hope you enjoy this content and that is helpful. So, okay, till next time. Bye-bye.